Can you hear that? It's that thing right there. Shaking everything in this room. That's weird. Love to know what that thing actually is. This mess that you can see right here is actually the basis of a project. This is not involved with it. And neither is this. As you can see, we've got the 420 CDT torn apart. And that's because I'm going to actually be installing MS-DOS 6.22, plus enhanced tools, and Windows 3.11 on it. Because I know that you guys like to see a lot of computer videos, and this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get it all set up the way that I need it to get set up. The other thing that I'm going to need to do is install the, or get the Windows 3.11 drivers for that machine, but that shouldn't be that difficult. Well, famous last words, I guess, but anyway. So the way that we're going to be doing this, because this thing only has a CD-ROM drive, and it's not even a CD-ROM drive that works at that. We're going to be using the Tecra 8000, which is why there's an IBM drive sitting there and a couple of other pieces from the 8000 sitting right there. So we're going to insert the first DOS disk on this. This is something that I haven't done in a very long time. In fact, the last time I did this, we are going to lose all our data, unfortunately, but I don't really care that much because there's nothing really on there that isn't replaceable. The last time I did something like this, maybe the camera will actually focus, or not. Okay. The last time I had to set up a machine using a different computer, because it is already running a version of DOS. Oh, this is the regular installer. So if we delete that entire partition, primary DOS, AM, escape, delete primary DOS. Are you sure? Yes, it is now deleted. Okay. Escape, setup will now, or system will now restart. So now the installer should run, because that's not the upgrade version of MS-DOS, so you can't do that. Hoping that this is going to work. I don't know why it wouldn't, but it might not, knowing my luck. Let's see what happens. Configure unallocated disk space. Yes, please do that. Setup will restart. Yay. Lots of restarting involved here. But yeah, the last time that I had to set up a computer using a different machine, oh my god, that is going to take forever. The last time I had to do something like that was back in the day of my Latitude XPIs. I had two of them. One of them had a working floppy drive. The other one I wasn't able to give a working floppy drive. So in order to install an operating system on it, I had to do it completely from floppy disks. Or I had to do it from a different system. Of course I had to do it completely from floppy disks. Back then, I didn't have a CD copy of Windows 95. I got that much later on. Those XPIs were actually a really good experience for me. That was my first real experience working with laptops and building good working machines out of several others. And it was they were much better machines than the Pentium 120 that I was using at the time, for the sole reason that the monitors actually worked perfectly. I remember the CRT monitor that I actually used with my Pentium 120. It was an Apple Trinitron with a cable that was slightly broken. You know, the cables, when the cable breaks, you lose specific colors, and it turns into this sort of greenish, gross color. That's what happened with mine, which wasn't really a good thing. But then again, it wasn't really much better than the 5153 monitor that I was using with my XT, because that one had a cable that if you moved it the right way, it would break the connection to the monitor and you'd lose all the signal, because one of the pins that was damaged was actually one of the synchronization pins. So it was a CGA monitor, but anyway. The other problem with that 5153 was that the brightness knob didn't work. So, going from a CRT monitor with a busted brightness knob and that was stuck in its lowest position, or what seemed like its lowest position, to a monitor that had good brightness but had crappy colors, was not really much of an improvement. But going from like a CRT with bad colors to an LCD monitor that, while it didn't have the resolution of the CRT, had the color depth and had all the right colors, was like, wow, this is beautiful. I remember that very vividly. That was such a great experience. I'd love to find one of those XPIs just for the sole purpose of making a video about it. There's nothing special about them. It's just another mid-90s laptop, but it'd be a nice thing to have and add to my collection. While I was doing all that blabbering on, it's gone about 45% of the way through the drive. So this shouldn't take too long. It's still going to take quite a bit of time, though. Hopefully this is all going to work. Alright. Installed CDOS, sure. Alright, so where are my DOS disks? There they are. That's going to take a while, because this isn't exactly the fastest floppy drive out there. And floppies are notoriously slow, so I don't know how long this is going to take, but it's probably going to take me all night in order to do this. Here's where things get a little bit interesting. Because the actual driver installers are floppy disk installation creators, and I can't run that on my T410 because it's a 32-bit system or 64-bit system, we're going to copy the files from the disks. We're going to copy the creators onto this, create disks, then copy the stuff on the disks onto the drives, and do it that way. Onto the drive. You know what? It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am tired. So there's that. I shouldn't be messing with this, but I am, which is just how dedicated I am to you guys. So you should really keep that in mind when you're commenting. This one's slightly different. This is not the same package utility as the other one. Alright. Oh, we're not quite done. Oops. Forgot about that. Still have to copy all of the files over. Copy. star.star to this folder. Oops. cutils, what is it? ESS disk 2. Alright, now the easy part is going to be transferring these 8 disks over onto this hard drive. That's the easy job. I'm also going to be putting Office 4.3 on there. And yes, I know this isn't a legal copy of that, but sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little bit in order to obtain what you want. Office 95 would be incredibly out of place on a Windows 3.1 machine, which is why I'm not going to use it. But I do have a legal copy of Office 95, and I've also got a legal copy of 97, and 2000, and 2003, And actually, I've got a single license for 2013 that is tied to my T500, and it's going to stay that way, because I don't care. I hate 2013. It is such a terrible user interface. Okay. Now let's go over to the C drive. Alright. So now that process is going to take a while. It is about 2 o'clock right now. So this has already taken almost an entire hour just to copy files over. Haven't even started the installation process. Haven't even seen if this works on this 420 CDT. And I'm willing to bet that after all of this work, it's probably not even going to work at all, and I'm going to have to spend time figuring out how the hell I'm going to recover from this crap. Place your bets. Do you think this is going to work? I hope so, because I'm so daring that I put all of the screws back in it. So, let's see what happens. The drive hasn't exploded yet, so that's a good sign. Right, 40 megabytes of memory. You get a beep, starting MS-DOS, testing extended memory. Dead pixel on the screen, and we are into MS-DOS. Perfect. DOS 622. We're going to go into setwin. And we're going to set up Windows 3.1. Alright, enter. Custom setup. C Windows. It's good. VGA, blah blah blah. Good enough. Setwin 2. Right, please wait while it starts. If it doesn't start, see troubleshooting in your documentation. Well, I don't have documentation, so, yeah. Setup will attempt to detect what network card you have. If it halts, simply reboot and start setup again. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and set this all up. You think you can outsmart me? Ha, you can't. So as you can see, we're now back at the 8000 doing it the old-fashioned way. Because it doesn't seem to recognize that I don't have a floppy drive installed on the system. So let's put the drive back into the Toshiba 420 CDT, set everything back up, and see what happens. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to make sure that the ESS stuff and all that other stuff is going to work. Figure I should make a quick update on the music playing computer. I'm going to have to sit here and watch this. I think there's something wrong with this DVD drive, because it's not importing music properly. This is the second time I've had to try importing the CD. It worked the first time. Okay, don't play. Thank you very much. So, you can see I've actually changed the background to something that's been used by so many different people. I think it's cool and it's fitting, so anyway. Play mod files. I don't think I'll do that, because iTunes is currently importing stuff. So, let's pick one, I don't know. Something I haven't played before on this channel. I think I've played everything before. Open with. Or, I guess I can just double click it and it'll open it up and open MPT. Cancel. Yes, that's exactly what it will do, which is good. Right, that's enough of that. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. There are people trying to sleep, so I shouldn't be bumping my bedroom like that. But that doesn't really matter. One thing that I've noticed is there are an awful lot of glitches in this program. I just closed it while it was running that, which is interesting. And so that counts as an application crash. But hopefully these will import properly and I won't have to go through this again. That's hilarious. Somebody messed up while putting in the names of this CD, or the songs on the CD into CDDB. Because that's what, take a look at track number 7. That's what they think it's called. But that's what it's actually called. I wonder if that sounds just as good as Clint Black's Ouch. Now this is the reason why I dislike this DVD drive, and I'm pretty sure that there's something wrong with it. This thing decided it was going to actually scare the pants off of me, because when I inserted the CD, it decided it was going to start the CD player application minimized, like it's not supposed to do. And it just started playing at full volume, and I didn't even realize what was going on. So let's play a little bit of this. This is the first song on the CD. I'm not going to play too much of it. Alright, so that's enough to tell you that, well, at least it kind of works, right? And as you can see, it is still reading the disc. There's absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. And it's not even, like, glitching up at all. Then, once I import it into iGoons, this could be iTunes' fault as well, but I don't know. If we go ahead and try and play this, as you can hear, I get absolutely F all out of it. It's like blank sound. Eventually it will come on, so I'm going to just mute that so I don't scare myself. But obviously, there's a problem here. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty positive that it is this stupid DVD drive. Even though it looks like it is absolutely perfectly fine. What a hunk of crap. Alright, so it's the next day. In fact, it's 7 o'clock p.m. on the next day. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what I have done. After some swearing and fighting with it, I was actually able to get the audio driver to be installed. But not the video driver. I'll get into that in a second, once this starts up. It's probably worth mentioning that the drive that I had in my 430 CDT is actually that 6 gig drive that was up there, because it was upgraded from another computer, from what I can tell, from what I was told. That drive was out of a newer Toshiba computer, but they wanted the space, so they just grabbed it and put it on here. So we'll start Windows. It does run, as you can see. And we've got audio, but we don't have a video driver. And I'm inclined to leave it that way, and I'll tell you why. My 430 CDT didn't have the video driver installed, because I never installed it. I did install the audio driver. I know that. But that's because the audio driver was actually bundled with another disc that came with the computer that I got with my copy of, what did I get that with? I think that was my copy of Windows 3.1 that came with. I got a boxed copy of Windows 3.1 and a couple of software discs for this. So, there you go. That's why I installed the audio driver for it. And with mine, I actually had the floppy drive, so I was able to install it that way. But this one, I don't. I don't have the CD-ROM configured, and I don't really care, because I will just not end up using it. I've tried installing the video driver, but watch what happens when I go to try and install the video driver. Let's go to C chips, which is where it's located. I get nothing. As you can see, there is nothing here. Everything here is working, including all of these applications, and this is what I had on mine. I didn't install any additional applications on mine, as far as I remember. I did use the CD-ROM drive, but I only used the CD-ROM drive to play, like, you know, those things that you used to get, the old-style games. I wish I still had some of those. The Land Before Time was my favorite one. It was a Land Before Time. I think it was like a kindergarten thing, even though I was using this computer in like 4th grade, which was ridiculous. No, yeah, it would have been 4th grade. It would have been in 2004 when I got that thing, which would have been when I was... started school in 2000. No, that would have been grade 2. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. 2nd grade, 4th grade, whatever. That's how it worked. I had a lot of fun with the audio applications, though. This was the best part. So you've got a sound recorder. And if I do record this, I believe it's actually got a speaker on it, so it shouldn't be a problem. Although if my volume... oh, that's not a volume control. I hit stop. You can see I actually do get some audio here, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and play it. It's actually got a speaker on it, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's only 11 kilohertz, but, I mean, that's okay, whatever. I guess we can change that if we, volume control, recording control. Mic is muted. Let's turn it up, see what happens. I wonder if it would actually record something a little bit better now, or if it's just going to be way overdriving. Oh. Actually, I think I know what that actually does. Okay. Let's set it to normal values, because we can. Let's see. Almost on top. No, thank you. If I select new, I don't save the changes. There we go. 44 kilohertz is what I want. Let's go and enable stereo and say PCM 16-bit. So this is a 16-bit 44 kilohertz file. Or 44.1, I guess. So if we then record this, this should sound a little bit better, but I don't know. I mean, I recall mine sounding slightly better than... so if we then record this, this should sound a little bit better, but I don't know. Yes, it does. That's what I remember. I remember it having like it was a crisp, clear sound with mine, which was really cool. That's not stereo, so I guess, yeah, it's not stereo. It's only got a monophonic microphone, but... okay, new, do not save changes. Let's see what these ESPCM things are. I've never experimented with this. Oh, 11 kilohertz, it's the only option. I never actually experimented with ESPCM before, so maybe this will sound like crap, but maybe it will actually sound decent. I have no idea. I don't want to leave the volume too high. I'm going to put it down to about there. So when I'm playing it back, then we can hear what it's actually on. I never actually experimented with ESPCM before, so maybe this will sound like crap, but maybe it will actually sound decent. I have no idea. Wow, that actually sounds like crap. Alright then, I don't see any waveforms, but whatever. No, please don't save the changes, that was gone off. What does low give me? Let's go like as low as it can possibly go. 5.5 kilohertz. Or I believe that's 5500 hertz. So let's see what this crappy audio sounds like. Maybe you can hear that stuff that's going on in the next door room, which is going on YouTube because I don't care to edit it out. So let's see what this crappy audio sounds like. Oh my god, you can hear that stuff that's going on in the next door. You can hear that. That's pretty cool. Sounds muffled. Actually, it sounds kind of like a lot of my old AM radio experimentations were, because I never used to understand what AM was, and I used to always have crappy reception in here. So, well, actually, it was crappy reception in there, because that used to be my bedroom. No, don't open anything, whatever. Alright, I think that's actually just pretty much enough experimentation with this program. Don't save changes. Excuse me. Volume control. Error quoting DLL. Heh, oops. There's the mixer control. Yeah, it's on mute. Although I guess the fact that it's on mute is actually a good thing. Because, whoa, almost fell over there. No, I guess you can't hear it. Can you hear it? Is it possible to hear me in that speaker? I don't think so, but anyway. Let's just leave it on mute because I don't want to bust something. Recording control. That's the record control things. That's what was just up. Extended recorder. I like how it says HD on there, as if you're going to get HD quality recording on this piece of junk. So let's see what this actually sounds like. Whoa, that is overdriving. Look at that. Alright, what does this actually sound like? Let's see what this actually... Yeah, it's low quality. Alright, options. Audio settings. Yeah, I want 20... Oh, you can't... Really? 4-bit recording is ESPCM. That's what that is. I learned... Oh, extended you can't actually do 44-100. Whoops. That's one of the downsides of Windows 3.1, is that when you lose a window, it disappears completely. No, don't save that. So this may or may not sound a little bit better. I don't know. So this may or may... Actually, that sounds pretty good for... You know. I love how they have an exit button right there, even though it's like it has window controls. Anyway, this is the one that I used to like experiment with all the time. The talking calculator, and it does exactly what you think it would.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I wonder if it works with the keyboard.
8, 9, point, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
That was something that I used to do as a kid.
Backspace, backspace, backspace. Clear entry. All clear. Memory plus. Memory minus.
You couldn't just say take from memory, add to memory, because that's what that does.
Memory clear. Memory recall. Divided by. Times. Minus. Plus. Reciprocal.
Cannot divide by 0.
Change sign. Percent. Square root. Square root. Square root. Square root. Square root.
Oh, that's a glitch in that. Okay, anyway. Next one is actually an hourly chime. And apparently it's giving me errors now, even though I wasn't doing that before. It does work. You can change that file if you go into settings. Even though it looks like a menu, it pops this up. This wasn't really a good program. This wasn't well designed at all. You can turn it off, you can change the thing, say the time.
The time is 7:31 p.m.
And you can also put in your own files. So if you wanted something else, I don't know. Like, well, that's not going to help me. I don't know what the hell those are. If you wanted, like, I don't know what this is, Quitchets. Oh, that is so cool. You can turn it on or off. You can have it chime on the half hour, the hour, or the quarter of the hour. So we'll say, just set it to hour because that's what I like it as. Turn that off. The clock is actually just the normal Windows 3.1 clock, or, well, any other clock for that matter. Slightly modified. It's a little bit messed up, as you can see, because it's not Y2K compliant. The time is right, but the date is not. It's not the year 114, that's for damn sure. And you can also have it speak the time.
The time is 7:32 p.m.
It just says the hour in the minutes. Wow. Sorry about that. You can set reminders. Well. Sounds like a duck. Alright, stopwatch is exactly what it says it is. I like that. It says STAP.
Seconds.
You can even, like, turn it off. That's an interesting
1
glitch.
second.
That is a very interesting glitch right there, as you can see. You can make it be quiet.
2 seconds.
And then it doesn't apply to the actual sound, which is kind of annoying, but you can have it in analog time, although I don't understand why somebody would want to do such a thing. That's how that works. What else is on here? You've got a timer. Really?
19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Okay, so that's how that works. Then we've got the audio clip library, which opens up the audio recorder. So, that's how that whole thing works. Then we've got phrases.
This is a reminder.
I wonder who actually voiced these. I wonder if you could figure that out. So we've got that, and then we've got the audio setup, and that's not what we're going to get into today. You've got a whole bunch of these things. Most of it's just Windows or DOS programs. Stuff in the startup, which I might add stuff to, like the hourly chime thing. We've got Hearts, we've got Minesweeper, and we've got Solitaire, of course. No Reversey, which would have been nice, but doesn't come with Reversey. You've got networking crap, which isn't set up because I don't have a network card installed, and of course I've showed all the regular accessories, which is all that my system had to begin with anyway. I used to spend hours upon hours in Paintbrush drawing random junk. I wish I still had some of that till this day, but I think that all got eaten in a hard drive failure in 2007. Actually, that would have been this drive right here when that one failed, because all my stuff was on that. But anyway, I might still have some of it, some of it might still be worth showing, but that's pretty much it for this video. There's not a lot that I need to cover anymore. So, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.